Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping's Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game. Welcome back, everyone. Last time we did this, a lot happened. We saw some fallout, and I'm excited to get back into it. Good to see everybody. I'm glad we're all together again. It feels like so long. Oh. I know we had some bit of holiday in between. I hope everyone's was good or as completely normal as you expected it to be.
Mm-hmm. It was a holiday.
You're fine.
That's exactly.
You're fine.
Yes, exactly. Either as nice or as who cares as much as you wanted. So, hi guys. How are you guys doing, my players?
I am good.
Good.
Just waiting for all fallout and dealing with Ashella.
Yep, it's true. It's true. Though currently, we wait and watch for our own geopolitical system. Now we enter one we possibly could influence.
Lies!
I mean, when we actually have an effect over it? Nah, doesn't happen.
But we can
Only
at least
fantasy
play
world.
the game and pretend.
We're all
There we
struggling
go.
on the hook like a fish.
Mm-hmm.
I should just go from the bottle tonight.
Yeah, just grab it straight from there.
Yep.
Might be more
It's gonna be a
effective.
long night, guys.
All right. I'm glad all of you guys are doing well. You're all here, all ready to play. I'm real excited about it. I'm going to go into a quick recap here. Last session, we witnessed the sort of fallout of some of the actions taken in the session before that. Henrik was returned safely to his family and his hotel, but not without some physical repercussions. As he was later examined, it turns out he has some cracked, possibly broken ribs due to the beating he took by the ransomers, which could affect his chances in the tournament. But we'll see. We will see. The sort of like a round robin of people checking on, judging, of everyone.
Judging big time. Thanks.
Judging on Henrik.
Yeah.
On the young, on the young man. But also, we found out a few things. Clarissa had scouted out the possible shield forger. Found out the reason why a shield forger even exists, which is basically so hedge knights can claim to have won rounds in tournaments and have proofs as the shield. Found out some interesting information there. And as everyone sort of got ready for the welcoming feast and the party that is to come for it, though injured, though affected, though traumatized, Henrik is not a man to miss a date. So
Never.
never.
Can't let the boys down.
So after being safely brought out of harm's way by Naimora and the guards, he then put himself into the hands of the Westerland boys.
Those guys.
Mm-hmm. The little Westerland boys, Heirs Club. The Heirs Club. Let's call them that.
Here's Club, yeah.
The Westerland's Heirs Club. To do a big old prank on the stables, which Mariella had visited prior to witness some of the competition of horse breeds. But unfortunately, before their prank could ensue, both Henrik and Layden witnessed a murder.
Just wanna have fun.
Committed by the very man who had saved Henrik's life not 5-6 hours before.
Not a full half day ago. Yeah.
Yeah, not even. They were unseen and they retreated back, and the group agreed together to mention nothing and to go back to the party as if everything was fine.
We're never going to talk about this again.
Exactly.
Nope.
Everyone agreed, and everyone casually but terrifyingly walked back.
Yeah.
And that is where we find ourselves this evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might be misremembering, but I thought Walton and Henrik said it's like they would possibly report to a guard. Like they were checking on their horses, they found something, and like
We did
report to
mention
a
that.
guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
That
I just
was
wanna see if I
mentioned.
remembering that correctly.
But I will say that it was heavily implied to do that after the party.
Later. Yeah.
Um,
I just wanted
don't
to
wanna-
make sure I was remembering correctly. Okay.
No,
Yes,
you were
no.
right on that. We did.
you were very right. But that was to do that perhaps after the party,
Yeah.
if they felt so inclined. But yeah. So that is where we're going to kind of pick up with everyone. We are going to... I think we're going to start with the chunk of the main family who is essentially all going together. So, walking out of the Green Tree Inn, unless y'all need to stop me and have a talk or something beforehand, we see Tedric Weirlight, Vivian Weirlight, Mariella Weirlight, Nymora, and of course Maester Thorsten. So tell me, what do y'all look like? Starting with I'm starting with Vivian.
All right. I've had a. I'm wearing a deep purple gown that has the shoulder, like the sleeves kind of blend into the shoulders where they come out and the sleeves start, but then they open up into that big, like open, I don't know what they're called, but the open sleeve that drape all the way down to the ground. And sewn into the bodice of my dress are live poppies. And I don't even know how to describe it, what Jennifer does with my hair, but it's full updo, and I have the pins that she's placed in it have a combination of amethyst and rubies to keep it in place.
Beautiful, beautiful. Tedric, how you looking going to this royal engagement?
I don't know how to follow that.
Are you in, like,
sewn into your
really-
doublet, man? Come on.
Like really
It's
deep
one of those
purple?
t-shirts that's made to look like a tuxedo.
It's like I don't know. I can see Tedric rocking like a really deep
He's wearing
purple,
a very fine, deep purple doublet,
like with
with-
silver or like silver lining or
almost interwoven silver and gold filigree or lining,
Mm-hmm.
with a deep crimson tunic underneath,
Mm-hmm.
big poofy sleeves.
Of course.
there's not much she can really do with his hair.
No, I mean, you're...
But his beard and hair have been fully cleaned and washed. And
Coiffed.
they have a nice shine.
Trimmed.
Coiffed, there we go. Coiffed, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Pomade has been applied.
Kyle rubbed the oils in.
Oh god.
Yes.
Sweet Kyle.
Dear boy.
Shaped it up a bit.
Shit,
By the way,
good.
Kyle is also semi-apprenticed to the horsemaster of House Weirlight, which means
The barber.
he also knows how to be a barber.
It's just a jack of all trades. I love Kyle. He should just do anything, really.
Tedric's beard has been
Fair.
trimmed up,
Mm-hmm.
as per mine.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a fine belt of leather
Mm-hmm.
with a clasp in the front that is the House Weirlight emblem.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it.
Screaming flower face.
Mm-hmm. It's real good. And then Mariella, your dress that had to be changed several times
Yeah.
to match Ashella's wishes.
God.
Tell me about it.
This one look
Well,
like?
I had sent you the picture before of what the dress would be. It's
Yes.
kind of, I want to say diaphanous. It looks very soft. It's like a very kind of like tactile, like slightly like light layer, ethereal-ish. It's got embroidery on the front. It's more probably on like the red side of like a violet color than like
Ooh, okay.
than like a proper like periwinkle like she was hoping, which tends to be more of a blue tone. And it's like, I don't have that. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But it is a change from what she was anticipating from wearing. During the parade, her hair was up in braids that has been mostly brought down, so then it's got a lot of texture to it with pins and things.
Mhm.
Kind of similar to her mother with purples and reds and maybe a couple shades of pink with like a couple of smaller braids to like kind of keep it all back and kind of contained.
Mhm.
But yeah.
All right. Very nice. And Maura, what are you wearing?
So in comparison to everyone else, Nymora's outfit is obviously really downplayed because hers is much functional
Your
as it
security.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's still leather armor, but it's in kind of a I would say it's in kind of a Dornish style, where it's this like long, like it looks almost like a dress until like it's got like a long slit up the front so that
You
she
have
can
the-
or, like still
You
move
have
freely.
the lamellar skirts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the leather itself, parts and bits and pieces of it have been dyed in like this very dark purple color. And it has like a high collar that has a couple of just really subtle like little gold designs. And kind of in deference to the fact that this is like a very fancy thing, she's put her hair all up in like a kind of loose braid and braided poppies into her hair.
Oh my god!
It's just like
So
sparks
you're-
of bright red and
I
this,
love
like,
it.
this black mass that's just cascading down her back.
So this is like
Would've
your
helped.
formal armor.
This is like the formal, like, I'm here to look pretty and hope things don't go wrong armor.
Yep, I am security and to a lesser extent a dress piece.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
I'm here to look good beside my lord.
Perfect.
Look at how fancy he can dress his people that don't matter that much and are replaceable.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
Thorsten,
how
you
it's
of course wearing the maester's robe because you're not allowed to wear anything else.
Yeah,
Did you clean
it's a
it?
much cleaner one than I
Yeah,
normally
it's-
would be wearing.
Maybe one of the newer ones.
The cleanest one you have, yeah.
It's my dress uniform.
Yep. Which other people may not be able to tell much of the, but you can, you know.
Oh yeah,
Slightly
Other
different
maesters will
color.
know.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
All right, fantastic. So the family sets out together. The guards kind of near and around them, It seems like a lot of the streets in this district have been somewhat cleared. However, there is a cacophony around you as somewhere unseen the small folk are having parties.
For them.
But you're just not sure where. You hear them, but you don't see them. It seems the direct way certain thoroughfares have been completely cleared as you sort of all merge into the main street that sort of runs into the green and you start to see some other people arriving and moving and wondering. I think about there is a very cloak presence that are around, just very much laying the law down. You know, Naimora and Thorsten, you both notice, probably Mariella too, but you all notice, like, in one alley there are 3 gold cloaks just, like, basically beating 3 people, possibly to death. Just like, other nobles seem to notice that and seem very satisfied. They're just like, good. And to know that the retreat is safe tonight. And you, but however, we're not quite going onto the green fully, as instead of turning the main thoroughfare where you would only turn right onto the green, this time you turn left. As you head, of course, to Aegon's High Hill, towards the Red Keep itself. And it is quite imposing, similar to the Sept of Baelor, essentially been able to be seen from nigh any point in the city. As you head towards the seat of King's Landing himself, the very place where Aegon the Conqueror the First landed on this country.
Lovely.
Indeed. As you begin to come up to the main large steps that lead up to it, there is already a very different air. It seems there have been layers of like topiary that were definitely not topiary maybe a little while ago, set up in magnificent and beautiful stags, all like reared up. The flag of the crowned stag flies everywhere around here, and the gold cloaks kind of hold many of them as you all make it through and up the thoroughfare. And eventually reaching the doors in main hall to the Red Keep. And it is a stunning sight, a true work of architecture. Thorsten is probably the one who maybe appreciates it the most for its historical and architectural reasons. As historically, this is an impregnable fortress. There are not a ton that can say that.
Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when you have dragons. This is accurate. But you, the family makes its way, and music is immediately being able to be heard. And though one might expect a sort of soft, lulling string to sort of set an atmosphere, it definitely is not that. The atmosphere is very much pipes and drums and lutes, and it's a much more kind of higher energy music.
Moderate and raucous.
A little bit. It's one you might hear in a tavern, quite honestly. And as you enter, immediately flames erupt around near you, something perhaps startling a few, as you see two fire eaters with faces painted like blue and black checkerboards, including their teeth as they smile at you, breathe fire into the air, and then backflip across each other and move away. As you enter the main hall of the Red Keep. Now, this is a place we have seen a lot if you've watched the shows. It is that absolutely massive hall that holds the Iron Throne. Tables have been set up. Performers, dancers, jugglers, acrobats. Along the pillars, you see men and women in strange costumes and leotards, climbing them with seem like silk ribbons, and are sort of hanging off of them and sliding down them in ways. Though the music would imply there to be a lot of dancing, there are currently no dancing. There is most looks like people talking and mingling. There are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of bodies in here, all moving about, and even though it seems there are so many, there is still plenty of room to walk. And as you walk in, there seem to be 4 separate heralds announcing people continuously as they walk in. Though their voices, though loud, often drown out by the music and the activity going on. As you come up, you don't even have to say anything, as it seems these heralds just take a look at Tedric's belt buckle and nod. Your herald seems quite old. He looks like at least 80. His face is almost concaved in from teeth. And he just slams his stick down and goes, "Presenting House Weirlight!" And Lord Tedric of the Redlands, Lady Vivian, me, Arnafel, and just goes into it, essentially.
Was he okay?
It sounds like he's been screaming his entire life.
Them chords be hurting.
Yeah, it sounds like this man has been either smoking 10 packs a day his entire life, or maybe his job since he was 10 was to yell. His face is just bright red with effort. But you all enter. A few people turn as they hear, but immediately other names are being called, constantly drowning out. Something you all notice as you come in, another family that is immediately called in, that some looked at yours, and some of you maybe have been worried about facial reactions, what goes on, there's all these rumors, but it's quickly, the attention from you is quickly ripped away as one of the, and then it says, introducing House Frostmourne of Hale.
Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh god!
I'm sure many of you turn, especially
here.
Yeah, Nymora and Mariella, I know, have certain interest. You see a family walk in, and you swear a group of Targaryens just walked in. They have many of them, not all of them, but many of them have a kind of faded silverish white hair. The man who obviously seems to be the Lord steps up. He's wearing a completely black doublet and tunic, and draped over his shoulders is a pure white cloak of fur. The fur is quite large. It's not quite sure what it is. There seems to also be stream, like kind of streams. These kind of like the shirt maybe underneath the doublet seems to be blue. And he has at his side a sword. His hair is long, loose. He has no facial hair to speak of, or eyebrows. His face seems to be devoid of hair. And he wears thick gloves over both hands. In fact, his left glove looks just, to Mariella especially, it just looks odd. Like it's maybe not moving right. And what definitely doing is this long silverish white hair and these piercing ice blue eyes that seem to not blink as he stares around the room. On his arm is a woman who at first looks 20 years his senior. Sorry, not his senior, his younger. Looks very, very young. But a quick realization, he just seems kind of older with his hair, maybe around possibly the same age. She has dark red auburnish hair pinned up in a bun, and she too is wearing a black dress. The top seemed to be made out of a certain kind of lace. And there is a very large sapphire like at her throat that seems to be set into the eye of a skull. The other eye seems without a sapphire or any kind of adornment. That sits silver at her throat. And she hangs off his arm. The dress itself, the edges and the sleeve edges all end in black fur as well. True, real, fur. She having even her eyebrows are actually a red color, and she looks about with the sort of the very almost kind green eyes, and she has a very small, warm smile. Looking about, a stark contrast to the almost stillness of the man who she hangs off of. Just behind them is a younger man whose age is very hard to determine. Hair color, also white, seemingly like his father. Eyes also piercing blue. He does have eyebrows, very dark, thick ones. And he is wearing a white and black coat, with a black tunic, underneath that is tied off into a sword belt. And he's wearing black, very thick looking leather trousers. Naimura, you would see those. Those could probably catch an arrow or a knife at least. With large furred hunting boots. I think he has no gloves on his hands. And it kind of looks like his fingernails are a bit extended and pointed.
I don't like it. No.
He looks about with unblinking eyes as his father, but his head moves in a very excited bird-like motion. Just however, the person next to him is the one that most people are staring at. It is a woman with whitish silver hair like the rest, but it is completely unkempt, almost wild. Think Cruella DeVille, just very sparred out and placed, sitting on top of her head. Huge cerulean blue eyes as she looks about. She has looks like someone has placed a black lace top upon her with a furred dress line similar to her mother, except she seems to have pulled most of the dress up and tied it so the front reveals her legs. She wears stockings apparently, but it looks very odd and not on purpose. There does seem to be a buttress on her rear, and it is the head of a wolf. Just the full pelt head of a wolf just sits on her butt, essentially.
Okay.
Whoever this woman is, I personally fuck with her real bad. I like her. I'm just terrified of her.
She too has very long fingernails. Long. And she currently just has a ball of part of her dress just in her hands, and she seems to just be wrenching at it as she just like looks around uncomfortably. And just to the left of who definitely seems to be the Lord is a man in dark, very fine black treated, like pitch treated leather armor, with a golden half skull on his chest. His
The Punisher?
for sure, yeah. It's fine. The sides of his hair seem to have been completely cut with a knife, and the top of his hair sort of like balls up and moves down, almost in like a horse mane fashion. He stands not particularly tall, maybe 6 foot, maybe like around there. But his his blue eyes and his in his dark brows seem to just blink and command a certain attention. This armor is very intimidating. There seem to be gold studs across it that maybe are longer or sharper than they strictly need to be. And he seems to also keep a long blade at his side. And that man is the man you recognize, Naimor. That man who is the brother of Lord Frostmourne.
All of a sudden, he doesn't seem that bad anymore.
Right? He doesn't.
All things considered.
But they walk in and immediately command attention, staring at this strange young woman who seems to be biting the side of her lip quite harshly and gripping at her own dress, and is hunched as if she is an animal fresh into a new home, wary of what she might find. And they all begin to walk in, the girl seemingly forgetting to move with her family and occasionally remembering and like running after them. They seem to walk in a very purposeful manner. And you all realize maybe you've been staring a little too long.
I think I'd probably like point out the Lord's hand to Thorsten.
Okay.
And, like not really like saying anything, but like I don't know what's there. There's something wrong there.
Could I make a check to be able to tell right away, or?
Yeah, absolutely. What are you thinking? A couple avenues you've got here.
Well, I'm thinking healing healing just because it's not moving properly, and I may know why just by looking at it through healing.
So, like,
does it
medicine?
also work?
Or...
So with healing, I think that's would be more if you had like maybe some time to really look at it. You could also roll a general knowledge check. Also a status breeding check could also give you a bit of help there as well.
Would I
do
possibly be able to do
knowledge.
like an assist with a status breeding?
Yeah, I would give Thorsten a +2.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So-
I don't need to
Knowledge
roll. He
check.
would just get the +2, or
Yeah,
Okay.
he would just get the +2.
Okay. You ready for me to roll?
Yep. So
I will say the girl looks anywhere in between the ages of 14 and 25. It is
Narrows
very
down.
difficult to tell,
And you're ready for me to make my roll, right?
as they are all ice pale.
yeah.
Yeah, I am ready for your roll. You got it, mate.
26.
Well, the TN was 18, so you got it.
Yay!
So you heard some things about the land around Darkhail, and you believe Lord Frostmourne's hand was succumbed to frostbite.
Mhm.
Um,
I figured.
in fact, the thing is, he apparently it is most people remove a frostbited limb. He has not. It's
So he-
just a blackened limb.
He's just got
It's a
like a dead
reminder.
black hand on the end of his arm.
Yes.
It's a
Mhm.
choice.
And the words of House Frostmourne come to your attention with that roll, which is, "We are the cold."
I lean back to Mariella and I tell her
Okay.
frostbite. Hazard removed my
I
hand.
think
Oh, you would have gotten 2 degrees of success on that.
Yeah.
Sorry. You would actually know how that happened with that roll. He got it beyond the wall.
Ooh.
Oh.
He apparently aided in a retrieval of a high-ranking member of the Night Watch, and basically they asked a bunch of lords to help, and apparently he is one of the only ones who responded. And you don't know how the specifics, but apparently he got to be on the.
Would this mean we would
Okay.
also know what his actual name is more than just Lord Frostmourne?
Yes, you would know his
Awesome.
name. I would say you would know his name because of that.
Cool. Because
Uh,
I'm like digging through notes, but like trying to be prepped to write more notes because it's like I know I've heard of the daughter. And I'm like, what is her name? And I'm like flipping through things.
Yeah, his name is Nether.
Nether.
Yeah.
Nether.
Yes.
Okay.
Nether. I think Nether Frostmourne.
Yeah, because I think maybe as part of the breeding with like sharing information, it's like I
Mm.
might have shared with Thorsten what I had heard about the daughter, and like some of the it's like with like basically some of the things I had heard about the house, maybe having that help jog his memory.
hmm
So he probably would have heard like a lot of like they're calling her a witch and like all of this
Yeah.
other stuff, and they're talking about like trees with faces and shit like that. And so it's like I share that with him.
hmm
So
Now, Naimora, do you
Uh-huh.
remember the name of the Frostmourne Knight who you saw on the lists?
Silas, wasn't it?
Yep. You are very right. Sorry. I'm just going to do that on occasion to check if y'all are paying attention.
I have so many notes.
My policy is that I pay attention to the names that are relevant to Nymora because she doesn't know shit about any of the other ones.
See, that's perfectly viable. Mariella, do you remember the name of?
Oh my god, you're asking me to go through way too many notes. Hold on. If I find it, I'll message it. If not, just keep going. Don't worry about me.
Okay, so Vivienne, I will spell their actual last name because I feel like people are getting confused on the pronunciation of it. It is this.
Is it Morn with an E?
Morn with a U.
It's
With
that.
a UN and Crossmoor.
Frostmore. Okay.
There's no N.
And there's no T.
Yeah, no, it's Frostmore.
Okay.
I see.
I know it might be spookier that other way, but that is their name. And they are distinctly from the north.
Glorious. Haha.
Aren't they all those first?
I have it written as glorious
They
with witch.
Yeah.
It could be my chicken scratch, which is why I'm not reading it correctly.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said glorious. I have it as glorious Frostmore with witch.
Mm-hmm.
With a couple of question marks and exclamation points. It's like, what?
You tried.
Dude, this was a couple of sessions ago. I had to dig through all of this in order to find it.
Understandable. So, as you all begin to look around, take in the rooms, it seems you have a few moments. You have gotten here before the feast has actually begun. Some people have sat down, but there is some food, but this can't be the feast food.
Yeah.
As it is not quite been brought out yet. So it seems like you have some talking mingling before the feast fully starts, and then of course there will be much talking and mingling.
I would definitely want to talk to my parents in order to let them know I ran into my uncle.
No, they're right next to you.
Yes. Well, it's like I'd like both of their attention for it. I'm assuming they're together.
Right there. There. Yep.
Yes.
Right there.
Before we possibly go and start mingling, I did wanted to let you know when I was checking on Nehema earlier, I ran into looking at my mother. It's like your brother Michael at the stables. He was with the Hand and the Lord of Coin.
Oh, I bet he loves that.
I did let them know where we are staying. I don't know if we possibly would like to see if he could help provide us aid with what we're facing. But the Lord of Coin was able to determine who I was and that I had a twin without being prompted.
Yes.
So
Lord Baelish is very skilled in what he does.
I figured I would let you know, regardless, that we are somewhere within his vision.
No, of course. We are one of the wealthier, among the many wealthy houses in the Reach. He would very much know who we are. But unless absolutely necessary, I do not think it would be wise to bring your uncle's attention to this matter, because with the information, or lack thereof, that we have of it, presenting it to my brother, therefore it getting into the ear of Robert, as we are celebrating the birth of his first daughter.
I believe another way, if we can be careful with how it is presented, possibly being able to say this is going on and we would not wish it to impede on the festivities, could you
Mhm.
assist us in keeping it out of the king's view? So then we can deal with it and not upset him at this time.
No? I think that would be easily plausible.
Yes.
Because, correct me if I'm misremembering, just many things have happened on our way here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's being said, everything is being boiled down to a single shield?
Perhaps not just is one that we found. I think
Oh, I meant Adam.
Yes. That
Because if
seems to
that's
be-
the only thing, then possibly one of the more military-minded families could help show that sometimes, well, I'm sorry, Father, this is something occasionally within Savas. The presumed answer is not necessarily the correct answer for a move.
This is true. The unfortunate incident of that is if we are beginning to pull attention to it, Adam has unfortunately had the advantage of sowing the seeds of discourse among the small folk, and their voices are loud. But if it comes to that, I'm hoping, since he's officially challenged us, once that situation has been dealt with on the field, it can be put to rest, and perhaps his temper will allow a discussion. But I don't see the harm in... Yes?
I'm just fearful of his temper because whenever someone seems to prod him, he tends to be very vocal on it. And I'm assuming this would not be a venue we would prefer that to happen at.
We will have to navigate it together and see how we view it, because bringing other houses into this reach issue is going to show or cultivate that we cannot keep it amongst ourselves. And we do not want to do anything that would weaken the house.
House.
Well, possibly if it's kept to Lords of the Reach and maybe showing that someone is trying to show unfair thoughts of Reachmen. But again, it's not... I feel like that's far-flung.
I heard some interesting things from our 3 very active socialites. Many houses in the Reach are dislike of us.
But at least there are a few with louder voices that maybe could assist.
This is true. We'll have to... There are some... The ones that do like us do hold sway. But, again...
Maury!
You see, like, the closey eyes, the deep breath. It's like...
Mariella!
I turn towards where the voice is.
Yeah. You see a Shella in this sort of gorgeous, expensive periwinkle gown that seems to have shoulders of painted pink and white flowers, actual flowers. And she has her horde with her.
Lovely.
And she's just immediately doing like the...
I want to lean into my daughter's ear. Unfortunately, that is one of the houses that we still have good favor in.
I was hoping possibly the Torleys or something, but I will go play nice with this one and see what can be done.
And I just like, be clever as only you can, my heart. You look beautiful. And I'm just gonna like kiss like her hairline and let her go.
If you require my presence, please let me know. And then, like proceed to like nod and like slowly make my way to the flock of sharks.
Glide over to the pack as you see Mariella kind of begin to break off Nymora. Thorsten, you see her go.
I do have a slightly random question. It's like, You said the guards were with us. Does this mean like Court is gonna shadow me during all of this, or like?
No, they're not allowed anywhere.
Okay.
They're not inside. They're outside the Red Keep
Okay.
right now.
Okay, so
No.
I'm flying.
Nah.
Solo. Got it.
No.
I just wanted like
Yeah.
clarification
Abs-
of like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm only allowed in because I'm pretty.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if
you
Nightmare follows
are.
me or what goes on, but it's like
Yeah,
I just wanted
you're
to point that
registered
out.
as a sworn sword. You're very much allowed in. And you do look about if you Naimora, if you who is security here. It's the King's Guard. It's the White Cloaks.
Are they just kind of like standing around, just like yeah?
So
They're not making any effort to keep themselves like out of the way. They're just there.
They're just some of them are just
Yeah.
talking to guests and just like drinking and hanging out.
'Cause some
Others
of them
are
from
like
royal
more
families.
just some of them are just off to the side staring and things
Yeah,
like
most
that.
of them
but-
are from noble families in their own right.
Yeah.
exactly. So
Lean a little closer to Vivienne. Do you want me to keep an eye on Mariella as she swims into that shark-infested waters? Or
Yes, but don't hover.
my lady, and I'm going to break off and just going to remain a respectful distance away from Mariella, but close enough that if the other girls smell blood in the water, I can try and redirect their attention to me.
Moderate wall
Understood.
surfing.
you do notice there are some other people who kind of are maybe doing the same thing you are.
Group of sword
Yeah.
Hey.
You do, and you immediately notice Ashella's, who you've talked to him before. His name is Ludwig, and he is rather large. He is comically in a doublet and tights, even though he is like 290 pounds easy. And just bald as the day is long. He's cockeyed, and his nose and face has been broken so many times, and he's just standing there in a bursting doublet.
Scale of 1 to 10, how miserable does he look?
His face is an utter mask. You've never been able to read.
Okay.
Too.
I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to give him a sort of like a sympathetic, like,
nod. He kind of looks over at you and is like, he's
take that as I will.
yeah.
He can't take his eyes off her, I bet.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely not. So we see Mariella to go with Ashella. We see Naimora to go protect her. My lord and lady, what do you do?
Well, one of my immediate short list is to get Tedric and I to talk to Cassandra and Richard Rald, because I want to further grease that Garrick into
Eerie.
Fosterling territory. And I do want to tell Tedric that. He's like, I don't remember if you remember Lady Cassandra. She is Richard Rald's wife.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember Richard Rald.
Mm-hmm. Squire 2.
Squire.
Squire to sell me. First to sell me.
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what I'm here for, love. But I was telling you, and I'm kind of like steering and seeing if I can find her in the crowd. She told me that she could possibly be persuaded and is interested in having Garrick Fosterling with them in the Eyrie.
Really?
Yes.
That does sound rather promising. So let's see if we can find them.
Let's go.
All right, Vivian, You're so excited. Make an awareness test to see if you can find them.
Shall I also make an awareness test?
Yes. Well, I'll say you give her a +2.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, I don't have
I know
notice.
the one leading this.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
it's high
Steering
energy.
along.
I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you see over by one of the food tables, you see Cassandra in this long, elegant red dress with this sort of gold lace on top of it. She has red lips with a sheen of like gold in them, long tressed hair. Her eyeshadow game is on point. And she's standing like this, and she looks a little annoyed as she's staring at the man next to her. And you see a man, very tall, who is currently wearing a breastplate with a kind of long, like reddish kind of cloak with it, and kind of some long kind of dress, like reddish pants with this sort of blue sash that goes down. His hair is quite long, untouched, like moved, kind of seemingly like parted back a bit, and he is currently just eating. He's just like grabbing some food and very unceremoniously stuffing it in his mouth. But he's looking at something on the table, and as you get closer, it's a book, and it looks like he's just like reading a book and just kind of throwing some food into his face. And Cassandra, and Cassandra is just like staring at him, looking maybe a little
Perturbed?
a little bit.
Yeah. But that is Richard, correct?
He does appear to be Richard. You do see his face. He's completely unshaven. He has these amber eyes that appear almost gold in a certain light. And his hair is fairly like brown and simple looking, but long. You're not sure if he's cut his hair in his life, but it does seem treated well. But yeah, he's just like reading a book and just like,
Damn it. If only people weren't trying to accuse us of murder, I feel like he would have instantly connected with Garrick, because Garrick would have just been like, I like that you're eating. Damn it. Wow.
Is that chicken wing good?
What are you reading? Damn it. Eat it. But yeah.
So you, well, hold on. So you will approach them. We know that. Thorsten, what are you doing?
I'm sticking near Vivian and Tedric for right now, just because.
To be available to them.
Exactly. I may not know when I am needed next. As Marilla walks away, I keep an eye on her for a little bit, make sure she's good, and go back to just looking around and ready to offer my services.
Yep. I will say, as you kind of scan the crowd, you do see talking to at some point, maybe not tonight, but
Who? I'm sorry, you cut out.
a face that you recognize, well, not recognize, but know essentially to a degree, that you might be talking to in the coming days. He's got a long greenish gold robe, a long white beard, and a thick nest of chains around his neck, as you see talking to some of the lords, who can only be Grand Maester Pycelle.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks very hunched and old, like every maester should. So you do note he is here. All right, so you will be available. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Henrik.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
I'm here too. Hey.
So Henrik, You and the Heirs Club.
What you wearing?
What's Henrik wearing?
Well, I'm wearing this very nice, long, this sort of like tunic jacket. It's high, sort of mandarin collar. It has this dark red color to it with long cupped sleeves. I'm assuming that, I've pawned off one of my sister's people that does all like her fabric designs and stolen one of them for my own to help make these outfits for me. Because it's my whole jacket's red, but it has these very intricate sort of like almost looking like ivy crawling up like the sleeves and onto the chest and lower and to like most of the whole outfit. It's like these weird lights, all purple and like other purple and violet vines and like small poppies growing out. It's
phenomenal. You are definitely like very finely dressed.
As always.
You walk in with the Heirs Club, and when the Heirs Club walks in, all of the heralds all go. Because it's like 5 people from all different houses presenting. It's just like. I will say most of the other Heirs Club are just nicely in jerkins or doublets or tunics that are befitting of their station, but maybe they have not paid a ton of attention to, save for Leyden Primaris.
He knows what's up.
Who has basically this long, almost velvet purple tunic that has a crust of black leather that comes up slim the center and makes a sort of mantle on his shoulders. And there are black webbing design, like as if a spider's webs, all subtly throughout the plays of the purple velvet. And it's kind of become a flared leather mantle on his shoulders that trace down the tops of his sleeves that end in these sort of leather bracers that have a spider on each one. You do notice he also has like 2 or 3 rings on.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, does every available girl turn and just glare on this group? Eyes near.
Essentially, yes. Many girls turn. We will see many girls in Mariella's group turn. However, it seems Ashella immediately just literally claps, and they all just turn.
I maybe know better. It's like I maybe spare them a glance, and it's like I see.
Yeah, it's out of your eye.
It's like, but like I know better than to steer away from Ashella with attention.
Ashella is very pointedly not looking at them.
Nice.
Which, Henrik, you notice immediately makes 2 of the other guys stare at Ashella.
Oh
God.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of smiling and y'all's kind of smiling, being like, everything's fine. Nothing's wrong.
No. Quickly, take some mental notes of Layden's outfit for ideas for later. It's like, okay, answers later. Gotta remember that. And I'll whisper to Layden, it's like, we should talk later.
I believe we will. Yeah, kind of nods. And he goes, but you lads, perhaps we should act normal. And he then, Layden kind of immediately begins to walk towards a direction that he seems to see someone he recognizes. And the other 3 that you met kind of move in a group together. But Walton seems to stick with you for a bit, and he just kind of puts his arm around he's really excited, but then he whispers "You okay, bud?" And he's just you doing all right, Henrik?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a good time with my first morning, and it's been great so far.
Nods.
Great. Oh God. Yeah, no, it's great. There was something I wanted to tell him, but I totally forgot what it was. Okay. Oh, I was like, did you mention to? I'll ask Walden. To Orton Lucas that I was looking for Iris.
He kind of looks up. Yes.
Oh, okay. Nothing. No, I'm not.
She
I'm
kind
not.
of like looks. He goes, "Was I not supposed to?"
No. That's fine. I appreciate you trying to help me out when I asked her for it. I was just wondering.
I don't have connections like that, but like Orton seemed like got on with your father. Did I misstep?
No. You're that was a good judgment. He seems like a nice fellow, so I don't. Thank you. Just want to make sure. Yeah.
Like
I do like.
All right.
I think we definitely should. I definitely want to do the right thing and tell him about this later, much later. But I would. Yes, I would appreciate if he came with me, especially. I was the only one that told anyone. It's my standing being what it is.
I would go with you. Yes. Right. Well.
Oh, also, I look around the room real quick. I think I see clock that my sister is in the pit of vipers. And Also, some point later when there's dancing, I think my sister would very much appreciate being rescued from the snake pit over there and lunges.
And she goes, I will keep that in mind. First of all, though, wine.
Find as much of it as we can right now.
Yes, agreed. He just begins to hurry off as you look about the place. Is there anyone you're looking for in particular?
I think just out of habit, I'll just do a quick glance around for the Danets, and Iris isn't there, but why
you see Adam Danet.
Oh, fantastic!
It's pretty easy to spot him. He's sitting down at a table. Some of his guys are with him, and he is doing nothing. He's just staring forward, and he's in his Danet colors of this sort. He's kind of got like a red doublet on, and he has like a gray pomegranate pin. But it looks like he has paid very little attention to putting it on. There's a couple buttons undone. He just looks focused.
On anything in particular, or just
you're looking where he's looking, and there's really nothing there. It's just like he's.
Hey, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to deal with that later. Ooh, okay.
However, I will say, near him, you do see a tall man, rather a bit obese. He's got a paunch to him, very fine clothing, draperings of gold and jewelry, a fur cloak coming down. He has a sort of I want to say like a sort of like a beret with a long feather in it. He has a thick brown beard that comes all the way down to his chest, which already has something in it. And he has 3 men kind of just around him. And he seems to just be talking, but he seems to maybe be with Adam to some degree. And this seems to match the description of Iris's betrothed.
Yeah. Reuben Piper, I think it was.
Reuben Piper.
Yeah. I grind my teeth and having weird conflicting feelings about not knowing this, but something.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. As you boys move off, just as you reach the wine, you do hear to your left.
Everyone's nose blows out instantaneously.
Sorry,
Too much.
sorry for the no warning for your headsets.
Yeah, I quickly.
Rip headphone users.
Headphone warning.
Yeah.
3. Okay. I quickly look for a table or a bush to hide behind. No.
There is no warning, as unfortunately Lady Shreve grips him by the arm with her dainty but fucking bone white knuckle strength. And we will leave you for now.
Bye, Henrik. It was nice knowing
You have fun in torturing me, Tony. It's fun
Have you
for
met my
you.
daughter?
Fun for you.
Good night, sweet prince.
I did have some things I wanted to do. All right.
Nope.
Too bad.
It's not going to happen.
All right. Arriving fashionably. Not late, but you can't be late to the party till it's over. But Clarissa, you do finally walk in. Tell me, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing? Yeah. So she has on this it's a very vibrant green dress that's made of this very stiff fabric, with a pleated skirt, and around her waist is a belt of some sort made of metal that's willow branches that crawl up her stomach and sides. And around her shoulders, she has the Shadowcat shawl that she is using to hide a little bit her stewardship pin on her shoulder.
Phenomenal. As you come in, you do notice coming in a bit behind you is together in their dresses, Constance and Jennifer.
Oh, lovely.
Jennifer wearing this kind of almost very light lavender dress that's very covers up a lot. That she also has like a bit of a shawl over her. Her hair's kind of like done kind of in this sort of like treated braid down the center that kind of weaves into a pattern. Her very much complements her bright red hair. And her kind of freckle seems to stand out a little bit more in the lighting in the dress. And next to her, Constance in a kind of light meadow green dress, hair full updo, power, like kind of rolled together, almost to look like a small like rose bush almost. And she stands very confidently, no shawl, dress kind of tapers at the edges of her thing, and she has a choker with a kind of green gem clasped at her throat, and it does draw a lot of attention to her. And you also see some sparkly at her ears, and they are kind of arm in arm, and see you. And they do the girl freak out thing. They're like, oh, Clarissa! And they just like look at your dress. You look fantastic.
You two both look lovely this evening.
Thank you. So are you off duty as well?
Not necessarily.
Jennifer's like, oh, well, not that you ever need any opportunity or help to probably find someone. You're so brilliant and thing, and just like, oh, do you want to marry her, Jennifer? And Jennifer's like, what? Right. No, like, well, I'm like, sorry to hear that, Clarissa. But you are invaluable, as they say. Anyway, I am going to go find myself a castle and some money.
I wish you the best.
like Jennifer looks confused, like the way of a man, and she immediately adjusts her corset and brassiere and just walks into the fray. Jennifer just goes, I wish I had her confidence, and kind of nods to you and kind of follows a bit after. And you see the festivities before you. And suddenly you hear, "Oh, we meet again, my lady." And you turn and you see Tom Greengrass,
Good evening.
who's just like casually playing a lute.
It's lovely to see you again, dear. How are you doing?
Infinitely, I think infinitely better now that your radiance has graced this darkened hall.
Your words are very flattering.
Clink, 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 clink.
Your words are very flattering, darling. Unfortunately, I have work to do, so I will leave you to your music.
What debased monster would cause a creature such as you to work?
My lady, but we will get there.
Well, 'tis a man I would challenge him for your honor, but 'tis a lady there's little I can do. I think perhaps there could be something which you serve the. He kind of thinks, right. Well, good luck. But he just kind of like clink, 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 and just kind of steps back.
Smart. Yeah, I think as soon as she realizes that she's not in his attention anymore, she tries to like get into the crowd and she tries to stay as close to hidden as possible. Yeah.
Understood. And now we're all here. Huzzah! Now, as everyone arrived, many more people, names are called, and it seems the dinner is beginning to become ready. Now, but many people are out about, talking, moving around. So, who shall we start with? Let me roll.
I'm like, there's got to be a die involved here.
There is a die.
There's enough
This will
of
be the
us
first
here.
die he rolled tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, well, 4 technically.
I guess, some of us are connected, so in the same group. So, yeah.
4. Hi, Henrik.
Son of a bitch. I knew it. Oh, okay.
Back to the streams. Headset
Yeah,
warning.
All right. You see gripping your arm with in a talon, Lady Orlana Shreve. And she has what is essentially a wig that is about a foot tall. That's heavily powdered and ingrained with too many rhinestones. Too many rhinestones.
A lot.
Though Henrik, you with an eye, you would immediately stones are not valuable.
Yeah.
Very much at all. And she has a kind of this simpler white dress, and she goes, "Henrik, it's so good to see you. How are you, dear?"
Oh, yeah, waiting for my hearing to come back. Oh, God, I don't say this. Thinking that. Oh, ow, okay. I'm well, Lady Shreve. It's so good to see you as well. It's been a while.
It has, I think, as a while as in summer. Droll. You do not get the joke at all.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna think I did. Oh, God.
Yes, ever since that terrible breeding business. But you look fine, you look dapper, you look young. How about my daughter? And she just moves and grabs you. Walton, you see, as you turn to look, he's gone.
Thanks, man. Give me a win-win here. Thanks.
He has retreated quite quickly.
Thanks, though. You'll appreciate that.
And yeah, she turns you to face a girl you've seen before, Aranette Shreve. Girl, she's wearing a very simple, draped dress. It seems to be mostly one single piece of fabric, very fine material, but it's a kind of this pale white and green dress. And she's like gripping her arm and looking at the ground, and she has the eyes of like a person who was just like a artillery shell went off 20 feet from her. And she described before, she's many people refer to her as horse-faced. She is very not conventionally attractive. Kind of mousy brown hair, intermittent kind of moles and like kind of birthmarks on her face, teeth not set right, and she's just but you know, from you did the brief interaction you were aware of at the wedding seems very sweet. And she's just like, she's not looking at you, she's looking at the ground. Like, oh, do you remember Henry? Like, the Weirlight boy from the Reach! The Weirlights! And she goes, yes, mother, I remember. Hello. Not looking at you.
Yeah, I think remembering, like, probably something like, because my sister talked to her more, and like her probably remembering like her telling me like that she's actually like really nice and like a sweet person. I'll send my hand to like for her to place it in mine if she wants to.
She like stares at your hand, and her face goes from her pale complexion to red immediately, and she starts like breathing through her mouth like she's sure what to do now. She's like,
you're like, hi lady, it's good to see you. Sorry we didn't get much of a chance to talk the last time we met.
She just whips her hand out and like shakes your hand from left to right, puts it back.
Oh.
And she goes, oh, girl, do turn off. Yes, Henrik, we were just talking about how my husband, Sir Barrishreve, you know my husband, Sir Barris, he's a knight. And we were just talking. We had just wanted to go to the Reach for a visit, didn't we, dear? And she's just like, it was like, oh, yeah, of course we did. Of course we did.
Right. Oh, God, this is so sad. Oh no, sorry, it's dreadfully warm out here. Would you mind accompanying me to get some wine? It's I need a drink. Would you like me to get you one?
And he goes, she would love that. Won't you? Yes, go. And she just like physically grabs her daughter and like just moves her.
I'm trying to get her away from her mom as quickly as possible. And just
Yes. She like moves her towards you, but she doesn't leave.
God.
And she goes, oh, wine. Oh, yeah. Yes. She's like, oh, that's very good at a den wine. There's many lovely arbors in the Reach. Like, what is your favorite wine, Henrik? Oh, you must be an arbor red man. I hear your family can afford casks of it year-round.
This is painful. Yes. Oh, yes. We do our red room. We have a town close Port City, so it's quite easy to get access to some there. God, it's so painful to say.
He goes, yeah, it's fantastic. I hear you're in the tournament, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct. I am.
Yes, I saw you, Aaron, I saw you marching in the... Like, somebody and I said, Arnett, doesn't he look dashing? And she said, oh, yeah, I think, yes, Mama, I think she won't, but she finds you quite dashing. But, yeah, like, you know, it's just tradition.
No.
For a knight to carry a favor. A favor of a special lady. I did not recall seeing such a favor on your armor.
quick,
and then just like, and then she's like, "What?" And then she just like stares at Aaronette, and Aaronette reaches over and pulls out.
I don't want to pressure my lady into doing anything.
She pulls out an embroidered scarf.
Oh God!
Like with gaudy as hell flowers on it, like it's stitched. Like it's someone who is outside the Reach thinks, "Oh, the Reachmen will love this," and it's not. It's awful and horrendous. And she's just like, and she just goes, and she just can't speak. And her mother's just like staring at her. What are you doing, Henrik?
God, do we even get a chance to get a word in here? Jesus, this woman. Oh, Lord. I have relatives like this. This is painful. Okay. I think I'm trying to come up with some excuse to get, if I could just talk to Aaronette, that'd be nice. I'm trying to think of, I don't want to like shove. Actually, no, I kind of do. If I could like think of some way to get her mom away, maybe like shove her on one of my, like another family member or something. Like, you should really talk to my parents. Are going to the Reach. I'm sure, love that. But I don't think it'll work here. Liz, if perhaps if you would later on like to dance with me, and perhaps then might be a good time if you wanted to.
So what do you say later if you'd like to dance with me? She goes,
Aaronette,
and just runs in a direction.
Oh.
And she goes, "Oh, women, they get so lightheaded." She just begins to run out. Aaronette! And just,
I'm gonna quickly go.
That's your disengage action. Congratulations.
Yeah. Disengage, bonus action, dash. I leave as quickly as I can. I don't want to be here.
as you like begin to move away, you do hear that was painful. And you see Orton Lugas up near the wall that you have retreated to. It's just like he's in a like dark green kind of puffy tunic. It's green when you're up close, but it's a dark enough color that you really wouldn't notice him much in the crowd. He's also wearing a hat to cover his kind of like curled hair, and he's just kind of like drinking from a goblet. And he's like, "Are you all right? Is your arm going to be okay?"
I'm good. Can I have that? Like going to his goblet.
He hands it to you.
Thank you. Just drain the entire cup. Oh.
He nods.
Yeah.
I go, Henrik, would you actually have danced with Aaronette Shreve?
Dun, dun, dun.
Did actually want to talk to her about something, but with
Is that right?
Any interaction with Aaronette Shreve, with me or with anyone else, I think was rather hard. With her lady mother making her
Later, if you want,
very known.
Later, if you want, I could run interference. I know a Lady Orlana, and I have been known to aid in marriage arrangements in the past.
Oh, I don't know. I
Back.
don't know if
It's just something for me to do. And he just kind of looks over, and you just hear like, "Right in the cunny! Right there!" Just and you see.
Oh, remember him?
Matt Lucas just like doing this, and then this horrible cackle just, and you see Marita next to them just laughing. just this horrible cackle, all talking. He just stares at them.
Well, I think if it was
So if you
the
need
both
anything,
of us,
just let me
Right.
know.
thank you. Yeah, I think that could work out for both of us. That would be nice.
You just give me the signal.
Thank you.
And then he reaches over to the table next to him and picks up another goblet. 4 there. There's no one else standing here, so he's just like.
All right. Can I try to find Nymora?
Oh yeah, she's easily spotted. You know where she is.
Yeah. I'll try to find her. I'll go grab her.
Mm-hmm.
Nymora. God.
Nemora, you are momentarily distracted as you hear like a coughing, and then you see Henrik.
My lord,
What
what you need?
I don't think so. I need to tell you something though. I know you're watching my sister. Could we just is there any place around that's like less crowded? Or like a table or something like nearby?
I mean, everywhere's kind of crowded. I mean, you can stand away from but like, unless you like leave.
No. I'll go away from like the group she's at and like go.
Yeah, I mean, Normora is already kind of a bit away.
Yeah, I'm not like the most I've exchanged is a single sympathetic nod with Ludwig.
Okay.
Because we're stuck in the same position.
All right. Well, I guess there's always some people around. Can I do a look around then, real quick, just like see if like anyone?
Yeah. Make an awareness test to just kind of see if anyone's trying to listen in. Absolutely. TN is 9.
Bye. Oh, do your thing.
Looks clear.
Okay. Cool. To go, guys. Earlier, before I came in, I was with some of the other going to
My
the
lord,
stables.
if you're going to tell me something that I'm going to have to tell your parents about,
I know I should tell them to. I just wanted to tell you because I don't know if it possibly put the rest of the family in danger, and I just wanted you to know, just to be on guard or more alert, because I don't know what it means or if it could lead to something else. I'm just nervous about them, and I'm going to tell my parents. I swear. I just need to let you know first because you're my sister and everyone else more. So. Ref Sables and me and someone else saw 2 men. One of them was remember that man I told you that helped me at the docks before I ran into you and everyone else that saved me?
I think I'm trying to remember if Henrik mentioned it.
He vaguely, he was kind of babbling.
Yeah.
Man came, killed them.
Yeah.
I got out. Like
No,
he was pretty.
Remember, I did tell her afterwards.
You did,
okay.
yeah.
But then,
Okay.
like, no, after, like, and before the feast, but I think Namor was like, okay, and kind of like, I think on purpose, like, kind of
You
distanced
never-
himself after.
Yeah, well, you never like described him or anything. You just said
No, right.
You're mystery man, yeah.
Yeah, he killed someone. I think that other man he was fighting with, and I'll only bring this up because he saw me. I don't know if he knows who I was or if it was an accident why he saved me in the first place, but I don't know. The person he killed looked sort of like a lord or someone important, and he might not bother me or our family at all, but I was worried after that. I just,
My lord.
I know you're always on top of being.
My lord, if you want my honest opinion, I think it would be best, whatever it is going on in King's Landing for us to stay out of it. This place is a nest of vipers. The longer we stay here, the more poisonous it gets.
Know that just. Oh, and I saw it. I don't know who this person is. If he knew who I was, I don't think he saw me. But
If he was a sellsword, if he is a sellsword, then let us hope that that his duty is done, that he has gotten what he was paid for. I will try and keep an eye out for anyone who looks suspicious.
can I describe him a bit for her? Just like, I know he looked like pretty fun. I think I remember mostly that he was just like really tall, and like that was it. Yeah, I'll give her like the base description that I can remember.
I think you're muted, Tony. You're not.
Yeah, I think so.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, so you can actually make a what is memory in? I think is it knowledge or cunning? Like,
I think it's kind
Either way, it might be the same for me.
yeah. So if you want, is it cunning?
Do a cunning.
Yeah. Okay. So if you make a cunning test, and you can try and remember details about him. Higher you get, the better description. Essentially, T and 0. Every degree is more and more detail.
1. So it's a man, I think.
You look like a man.
He's a man.
Big man. Just big man. The villain.
Oh, I think.
And yes, memory is under cunning.
Thank you.
7. Okay. Tall. Hair like shaven.
Mhm.
Like his head looks shaved. Big. He wore like mail armor, but like sparse, like maybe like like splint or scale, perhaps.
Mhm.
He had a sword with him. You remember he had kind of like beady brown eyes. Not particular, like, and like scary looking, and head and shoulders taller than you.
He wasn't wearing any like, I don't know, he wouldn't be wearing any like sigils or any like distinguishing.
For a 7, that's kind of what you remember.
Okay.
It happened very fast, and you only saw him for essentially a few seconds.
Okay.
But you do know if you saw him again, you've seen him twice now.
Yeah.
You did see him that other time. So I will say, you remember his left. You do remember one of his ears was notched. You don't know which one, but you just remember like one of his ears looked messed up.
I'll
That's
describe
like
that
probably
as,
the most distinctive thing you remember about him.
I'll describe that as much as I can in detail to Nemora. That would help. But
I feel like Nymora has seen any number of sellswords who could match that description.
Yeah, you thought you can think of 7 off the top of your head.
yes, but it's
Big man, scarred ear. You're like, okay,
just
all right. If you
keep an eye out. Just be careful, I guess.
If you see him, let me know. Let Clarice know. Let your parents know. Okay? Because if he's shown up twice around you, then once coincidence, twice don't like it.
Yeah. I knew who the other man was, what he wanted. But guess it doesn't matter now.
Okay.
It's not much more that we can do for the day.
All right. Very nice. So we are going to pan from them. Kind of, a lot of this is happening simultaneously. So we are going to be kind of seeing things from everything. And we are going to go to, Aaron, I see. Mariella.
Hi.
Bye.
So when
Oh,
you came
feel so
over,
unclean.
when you came over, Ashella came up to you. She gave you reach kisses, like mwah mwah. And this red you're wearing is a sort of subdued violet.
No.
Almost, right?
It's like a violet, but it's like, you know how sometimes that skews towards like a blue tone. This one is
Yeah.
skewed more towards like a
To red.
reddish tone.
Yeah, it's not bright though, right?
No.
Like it's kind of darker.
I know better than to wear a brighter color than Ashella.
I need to be very specific about this. I have not shitting you a list of things. But,
Yeah. No, it's
like
I had packed a red dress. As soon as I am on Ashella's, I guess I cannot wear that while I'm here.
Yep. And she goes, Mari, you look great. Oh, perfect. Like I told everyone how to accessorize, and yet somehow still didn't quite hit the mark. But I'm sure you all feel gorgeous. And they're all just like, we do. Just nodding.
Dead behind the eyes.
Oh,
Just turning back to you, but like, Mariella, it's so nice to see that at least someone knows what they're doing. Isn't this what? And she just grabs your arm and she just starts kind of walking, and then all the girls hoard around them.
I do want to ask, when the Heirs Club shows up, could I do an awareness or something to see why she has that reaction?
Yes, you absolutely can, and when it happens,
Awesome.
I will prompt you.
Cool. I just wanted to put that out there.
So she walks just literally 10 feet and then stops, but just to move everyone, and everyone moves with her, and she goes, they've done such a good job here. It's so lovely. You scarcely believe. They think. And she's like, "Don't you think, Mari?"
You would cut out a little bit on what she was saying.
Oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, "They've done such a good job. In here, the royal banquet looks lovely. You'd scarcely believe a family was murdered in here. Don't you think, Mari?"
I have very rare experience with this. However, I don't believe that it necessarily shines as bright as the festivities that you and your family have hosted.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it. I'm so glad someone did. Seriously, this is a royal engagement. My mother told me of the Targaryen affairs, and this seems immediately at least a subtle downgrade. I always wanted to go to those balls back when they were in power, but I was never old enough, apparently, as if my mother knows the definition of old enough. Though I believe yours does, Petrika. And she's just like, and just smiles. And Petrika immediately seems to somehow be conglomed to the more back part of the group. Without any
do I have any idea of what family she belongs to?
You can roll status breeding.
This poor child. Status breeding. 21.
21. Yes. That is House Lathane. They are a very rich house. And her mother just got remarried. Her mother is quite old. Petrika is the fourth daughter. Her mother is in her late 60s. And she just married a landed knight who was 19.
For her.
So she's robbing the cradle.
She's robbing the cradle. That was most likely a jab at that.
Okay.
And apparently Petrika has been designated not in the front part of the circle any longer.
Okay.
She goes, but truly, Usurper King is right. I wish to. I'd rather have seen this hall's decorated with dragon bones than. What is that? And she just looks at one of the things
Topiaries
on
of
the
stags.
exactly what is that? Plants? We see enough of that in the Reach. We come to King's Landing for to see how the king lives, not how I don't know a tavern owner would decorate the keep. And they're all like, "You're so right, Ashella." And at this point, the Heiress Club comes in. They are announced. Many of the girls turn.
What?
What?
There's club in the house, yo!
And you kind of see at the corner of your eye, and then Ashella goes, "Who would like a drink?" And they all snap and turn, and they all nod. It goes, "Great." And she just turns and stares at two of the girls.
Oh.
Okay.
And one of the girls nods and goes off. The other girl goes, "Luella, go," and turns to one of the other girls. And then Ashella seems to smile. And somehow that girl moved up closer. It seems to just be like a moving organism, this crowd.
It's the hierarchy of Real Wives Club that the shit
Just
you are
the
the hiring
hive.
club.
Wives of Game of Thrones.
Except most of these ladies probably not married.
No.
I'm
but
all
yeah,
of this
so-
fascination.
Yeah, so it's I was probably
Horrifying.
mostly watching. It's as soon as I noticed that Henrik was there with that group, I probably immediately refocused back on Ashella because I know don't take your eyes away from the shark.
Yeah. You can roll awareness empathy to see why her reaction was like that.
No empathy, but I got awareness. 16.
16. Okay, we're going to treat that like a sort of... Okay. Yeah, you do succeed. You don't get much.
I don't
A
expect.
part is, in your opinion, Ashella wasn't done talking.
Attention is turning away from her.
Exactly.
Okay.
But there definitely was something. There was a strain in her eye, as if she did maybe look for a second and see something she refuses to look at.
Ooh.
Be right back.
There's what you don't know who, but
I want to know.
one of the 6 that came in of the Heirs Club, there's something between Ashella and them. You don't know what. You don't know whether it's contempt or love or hate or something, but there's
Frustration.
something that she won't acknowledge about that group. And if you do, with a 16, glance out the corner of your eye, you do see 2 of the 6 staring at Ashella.
Who?
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 Who
Which
gonna be?
of them?
Oh, I could use this as a fun moment. Hey, Henrik, do you remember the members of the Heirs Club?
Oh,
I remember who they are. Yeah. I know.
I'm asking Aaron F right now.
I'm just saying, I know.
Notes I don't have aren't here. God damn it. All right. All right. I got nothing. Wait a minute.
We see who the Brady twin is. Yes.
Notes on this shit. Yep. Okay. We have in Heirs Club. I'm not quite sure on the last names, but I think we have Bruce Bainfort, one of them. Titus Brax, Sebastian Farman, and then we have, we have Sir Walton, of course, and I'm blank on the last guy who I just talked to.
Mm-hmm. Layden.
Thank you, Layden. I was like, it's not Landon, but it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Layden.
So It's Sebastian and Bruce.
Okay.
Here's
Titus, if y'all remember,
Mary.
is actually
Team
Mary.
Mary. I remember that.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna ask if Henrik was looking at Michelle. I was like, no, it's not inside.
No, we talked. I know. No, you don't want to make eye contact with that.
Oh God, no.
You alive.
Slaughter me.
I imagine
Jesus.
Henrik
Yeah.
is like, stay away.
No.
So in your mind, there's something going on with either Sebastian or Bruce.
There's some sort of tension.
There's
Don't
something.
know what kind, but there's some sort of tension. Okay.
There's something, yeah. Perhaps the conversation later might bring something out.
Maybe.
Moments later, wine is brought among some of the girls, except it seemed to arrive before the other girls got back, as Ashella, after they left, asked some of the manservants to go get them all wine. So when the girls come back with wine, everyone already has some, and they're just holding wine.
A power move.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
I'm telling you, it's a hierarchy of Real Wives Club.
And they just don't know what to do. And she kind of like stares at them for a bit. I think goes planning on making some poor guardsmen. And she just like looks immediately kind of more. You hear one of the girls just like hand it to a servant, and she's like, and she just like starts looking for one. Ashella goes on at length of how she believes the Baratheon party is awful. The Targaryens would have thrown a way better party. Sure, they were insane, but like they had taste.
You better be careful. She's gonna get.
Did it with style.
She's gonna be heard.
Yeah. It's a Shella. I think it's a case of me doing an awareness. It's like just kind of like while she is holding court, I would like to vaguely see if maybe I could see where her parents are. It's like I just want to see where they are in the frickin' room.
Absolutely. Yeah, make me an awareness test. All right.
I probably don't see them, which isn't bad.
What do you get? 10? You do. You do see them.
Okay.
I mean, Lord Ashford is literally one of the richest, so he's not subtle.
Okay.
Slightly
Slightly lower TN number for him.
a tiny bit. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, so you see Lord Ashford, who has a kind of brilliant white outfit on with like coronas of sunrises coming off of it. And his wife has a beautiful, like, orange and white, almost cream, dress on. Lord Ashford looks, probably a few years older than your father. You've seen them before. Lady Ashford, probably a few years younger than your mother. Maybe around Clarissa's age.
Okay.
And you see them. They are currently talking to Lord Tyrell. And another man who you recognize. It's
Garlic?
No, it's Clarissa's cousin.
Oh.
Yes. Claude.
Barely's face.
Yeah. Claude Asterwood,
Okay.
which you do know he is a prominent member of the court. And they seem to be having a good time, whatever the conversation. You definitely notice Claude is seemingly leading the conversation, and just like laughing and nodding. As this is the first time we've seen Claude. Claude, he's an older man, probably in his maybe just turned 40. He has kind of a faded tan skin, as if maybe in his younger years browner due to outside, but he maybe hasn't been out in quite a while. He has shoulder length wavy like blondish hair, very dirty blonde. He has a very trimmed kind of very think like a trim like Shakespearean goatee, just like
Okay.
point like mustache, and the kind of wearing the kind of the Asterwood green, and seems to have like this golden chain around him connecting to a very short like half cape that seems to be made of some kind of fur. And he's currently talking with Lord Ashford and Lord Tyrell. Now, here is the unique thing, Mariella. You actually don't know Lord Ashford's name. You know his wife's name, which is Tanella, which I will spell Tanella, Tanella. But you actually don't know his name. In almost every form of conversation, he is
That's
Lord Ashford. You're trying to remember it. You're like, you realize you don't think you've ever heard it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's oh man, wheels are turning. I'm trying to. So it's like I'm trying to do the most that I can with minimal moves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I haven't actually described him, Lord Ashford. Excuse me. I just described his outfit. He is actually a quite taller lard man, and he is a very big bald man with a very round and red face. Like every conversation, he seems to just his beet red face, very round, bald, big.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely corpulent for his age, betraying his status and wealth. He definitely appears to eat very healthily very often. Oh yes, Lady Tanella. Seemingly also plump as well.
Okay.
So they very much match Mace.
Okay.
And Claude has a bit of a belly as well.
He's got a dad bod. Got it.
Oh, for sure. Claude has for sure a dad bod.
All right.
Yeah, and you also know he is, of course, the heir of House A. Claude is. All right. So, what you have found them? What do you do?
Okay. I would love to try to find a way to kind of like maybe promote walking and maybe see if, because I'm assuming Ashella is like a fucking river. I can't control where the fuck she goes, but it's like maybe I can do like slight channels and like see where this goes. With her going on about the party and things of that nature, I think Mariella, it's like she's taken I'm assuming like her hand is like inside of mine, kind of a thing. I think I probably put my hand on hers, and it's like, well, hopefully there's at least one thing that maybe can be added to and possibly even elevated in the next celebration that you hold at your own home. But I believe this probably shows just probably my need for possibly some guidance from someone more experienced than myself. Would you possibly help point out some of the additional faces that are here not from the Reach? I see a few that you had mentioned before, but your counsel is most notably welcome.
All right. Let's see how this can go. This could go one of two ways.
Yeah, I know.
So, Mariella.
It's not generally wise to show weakness, but it's pandering to her.
This is very much charm to me.
Yeah.
Now, deception would apply here. However, because you are deceiving her, but you're not necessarily trying to make her believe something that isn't true. You're trying to get her to do something. So I'm going to say this is more persuasion.
Awesome.
So I would say this is a persuasion charm test. And instead of having a TN, this is going to be like a mini intrigue. This is going to go fence.
Okay. So persuasion charm, just you just want the straight roll? See where it goes?
Yes,
Awesome.
This would be the straight roll. $18. All right, that is 2 degrees of success. And I'm going to say that is enough because,
Pander. Gotta pander to this girl.
Yeah, I mean, the pander was good. If you had rolled poorly, the misstep would have been
dire. Yeah.
But Ashella seems to take this hint up as if you've just suggested something that maybe you kind of see something in her eye, and you're a little worried that she thinks you're trying to do something else.
Oh yeah.
But she seems to be just like, an excellent idea, Mariella. Like, all the girls here, you aren't familiar with anyone outside the Reach, are you, darlings? Like, no, of course. They're like, well, of course you're not. And like, well, come on, I'll introduce you. And she just takes you and begins to guide, and the girls follow. And they begin to kind of traipse around the edges of the party. What is your intention here?
My hope is we go somewhere near her parents, so then like we have to like acknowledge them and say hello. I am hoping, because then I can also say hello to Claude, who is part of the banner house of my family. So it's
Absolutely.
just like double duty. Plus, I get to say hello to my liege lord, who is Mace.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So as you begin to do that, Nymora, of course, you begin to follow. You end up kind of walking next to
With
Ludwig.
the flock of sworn swords.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of us that are just like spaced like every 3 feet or so apart.
Like you're probably like at least 30 feet from the group, but you're just like just
It's
walking
like,
kind of
I
get
think-
next to kind of Ludwig, and he smells so much like cooked ham right now.
Oh my god.
In fact, so much that it's not like he just smells like it. You think he might have some.
He is pocket bacon.
There's a potential
is that what
reason
they're
why
calling it
stomach
nowadays?
up with his first thing. It's because he's got a whole lamb up there.
I mean,
Yeah, some pocket bacon.
who
That's
knows?
what that lump is.
Yeah, take what you can from the rich man. I live big. Nice.
Is
And
that a
like,
ham in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
and he just goes, Mariella. No, you're Nymora. That's Mariella. kind of
That's
nods.
right.
As if, like, to himself, like, yeah.
Man.
And goes, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You hungry?
Yeah, probably going to eat later.
He reaches in and he pulls out a slice of ham, like a thick, salted slice.
From whence does he pull it, Tony?
The side of his doublet.
Okay.
Not
Does he
his
offer
pants.
Does he
Yeah,
offer it to me?
he offers it to you.
I take it.
He seems satisfied. One of the other sworn swords
Give me this fucking hand.
walks up and goes, some of the girls had extra cups, and just like hands one to...
I was wondering if one of them was just gonna go up and be like,
They seem to be
Your first
passing
take it.
the cup, some of the cups around, like they're each taking a
Uh-huh.
drink and just kind of like...
yeah, I'll take a drink and I'll pass it over to Ludwig.
Mhm. He finishes it.
Good job, buddy.
So you begin to walk through the crowd and being like, oh, well, that's the old lady. And Ashella, to your, I don't know, surprise, Mariella, she does seem to know people. And you yourself are no slouch in heraldry. So you know she's not making shit up. She seems to be very aware of who everyone is. But
Yeah,
the
I
information she gives isn't maybe what you would bring up?
probably not. No. Yeah, it's like I do. It's like if at all possible, it's like if I see where the fuck Adam is, it's like I would love to like maybe try and like point out like another area of the room in order to like help avoid going near Adam. I don't want to be in his vision.
Yeah. You do know that Ashella and the Ashworths themselves, so you're probably okay.
Yeah. But it's still just a precaution. It's like I don't want to
Understood.
irritate that rash.
I understand. She does seem to know a lot of gossip.
Awesome.
She names at least 5 affairs, several scandals, and she does point out, and she goes, she stops though, and her eyes, and you've seen this look, Mariella. It's when a wolf notices a
Prey.
baby fawn, and she sees Aranette,
Yeah, no.
and she points, talking. She goes,
Oh no.
and they're like, oh, Aranette's here. Isn't that your brother she's talking to? Oh, look at him squirm. I can't believe her mother's making embarrass her like that in front of someone like your brother. At the very least. Oh my God, he looks so uncomfortable. I almost want to save him, but perhaps and then she just runs. It goes, the girl's gained some looks like gained some sense, and then she just turns back to look at the girls and kind of flicks her wrist, and you notice 4 girls just go off. But she just keeps walking.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
And
where are we now in situation of
you're very close to her parents now. You could
Awesome.
easily point out and be like, look, it's your parents.
Yeah, I think I would point out it's like, oh, it's Lord Tyrell, and I see your parents are with him.
Oh, Daddy!
It's like I lead with Tyrell, and then it's like, oh, it appears your parents are currently speaking with him.
Daddy! Mama! And they kind of turn and look, and he goes, oh, my girl!
I release her in case there's any embrace or whatever.
She does not release you.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
She casually walks up with you, and some of the other girls goes, it seems you found your... Oh, yes, Daddy, you remember Mariella Weirlight, of course. I was like, of course I do, my lady. And he like goes to take your hand and kiss your hand. His mouth is very wet. And, he kisses your hand and goes,
Do the courtesy, that is his station, which is a certain degree of courtesy and things of that nature, yes.
And
That
he goes,
will be allowed while Ashella is holding me.
of course. He goes, yeah, how is the thing? How haven't seen him since the ball and that.
You cut out on who it was. Was that my father or was
My
that my
father,
brother?
yes.
My father?
Your father.
Okay.
I haven't seen him since the ball we threw. I think I remember that. I remember like the battle. Like your father. Your father was like I think was magnificent. I think true reaver on the battlefield. And she's like, honey, she doesn't want to hear about the bloodshed of the war. And he goes, oh, of course not.
Question.
Of course. Oh, may I introduce Lord Tyrell? I think my daughter, second daughter, Ashella. And he goes, oh, yes. And of course, young lady, how are you? And she curtsies and she goes, very well, well, Lord Tyrell. Hold on, my brain just shut up. She goes, very well, Lord Tyrell. My family lives in utter prosperity due to your wise rule. He goes, oh, how delightful. Yes. Mariella, House Weirlight. Haven't seen you. Oh, since the ball at Ashford. And he's talking.
I do like the slight smile with an eyebrow, and it's just very lovely to meet your acquaintance. I feel it's been too long.
Too long. Yes, too long indeed. And then of course, Claude, you know, and Claude addresses you fully, and he bows very deeply. Specifically, he seems to he goes up and he goes, Lady Ashella, and he bows very deeply in front of you. Lady Mariella, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you since I think your 13th name day.
I believe that would be accurate.
You seem to be faring well.
I am very happy to see that you are in such a similar state.
I have little to complain about. The prosperity that your family brings. I doubt I have little to speak about it. I'm glad to see you here, and that the family has made it as well.
Indeed. I kind of turn towards Lord Ashford, and it's like, well, my father is actually in attendance this evening with my mother, so if you would happen to enjoy regaling and
fantastic mace, the mace. If we grab a grump Tarly, we could have a Mace goes, oh, I suppose we would, yes. Just kind of nodding.
Be able to show the glory that is the Reachman and all of our...
Yes, well, someone has to show these Did you see the Northmen? Look at that. What is that? Wolf fur? Bear fur? Wouldn't see a Reachman wearing that. He goes, you must forgive them, Father. They're so far removed from society. It's no wonder they're more than beasts. They're trying. Oh, that is my girl, such a kind and sweet and giving heart. And she just smiles. Shelley goes, well, we'd love to talk more battles and bowls and all kinds of other things, but we are in high demand and we must go.
I do. It's like, could I do an awareness to see if I could spot where my parents are vaguely, so that I can give.
Yeah, no, you know where they are.
Yeah, so I point out the general direction of where my parents are in case they would like to go talk to them or something.
Absolutely.
It's like I'm not gonna Ashella and like call out to my parents because that would take away from Ashella, and that is bad. But it's like I point that out while allowing Ashella to direct me as she pleases, unless like I see a hail signal from somewhere else.
Mhm. It goes.
Although I really, while we're kind of stationary, want to see if I can spot Clarissa.
That will require a roll.
I know that will require a roll.
But I'm gonna.
You can supersede me.
For one moment.
Absolutely.
As you begin to pull away and you kind of point out, Claude goes, I believe I have a message for you, Mariella. And he leans in to whisper, and he goes, if you need rescuing, all you need to say is bawl at Ashford 3 times, and I will come get you.
I like blink hard 3 times.
And he goes, he gives you he just goes like this, like 5, like maybe a time period where he's like,
it's like immediate. It's like now.
He just nods, nods, and basically says like, in like 5 moments, I'm gonna come.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like, I would love to do an awareness check just in case I can spot her. I doubt I will.
Please, all right, Clarissa, please make your blend-in roll, and
gotta be disgusting. Yeah.
Mariella, please. So that's 24.
I can't.
26. Excuse me, 26.
I can't beat that.
You can't beat that.
I only have 4 ranks in awareness, so I can't beat that.
So you unfortunately do not see her.
That's cool. It's fine.
Anywhere.
I knew it was a shot in the dark, but like I was gonna offer to possibly. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So Ashella kind of brings you away and goes, I hear things are going to happen at the feast tonight. I'm very excited. I have several, I think, activities planned that I think should be quite fun once the feast has begun. I think we'll all talk about it for a moment. And then before she finishes her next statement, Claude appears and goes, excuse me, Lady Ashford, Lady Mariella, there is a matter that I just forgot. A fool I am, old age. I must discuss with you. Your mother talked to me. I must borrow her apologies. She goes, well, if you must, duties of daughters. And she lets you go.
I give a sympathetic look. It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And he grasps your arm in much softer than Ashella did.
I'm assuming I will have bruises.
Basically walks in the opposite direction of where Ashella's going.
Yes.
With you, and he goes, that was close.
Thank you so much, Claude.
Like, it is quite all right. I almost didn't recognize you. Did you grow a foot in 2 years? You're up to my shoulder now.
I only remember you to be taller. I can't quite remember where. How much?
He nods. He goes, that is the perpetuity of old men to remember how tall someone used to be, I believe. It reminds us of when we were younger.
But the boon comes that you've grown and gained some wisdom. And have managed to provide a way for me to escape.
Wisdom and perhaps pats the stomach weight.
How are things with the Asterwoods? As we kind of
he goes, well, ins and outs. My father is my uncle is a stubborn man. But no, he does what he does
slightly
best.
shared with Clarissa, but it helps with her duties for her family.
That I know. Now, I spend most of my time in... Actually. Now, Mariella, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are nearly on your 16th name day, are you not?
It is approaching sooner and sooner.
Mariella, I do have some pull in Highgarden. If you ever wish to take a maidenship in Highgarden, I could arrange it.
I believe such decisions generally go past my mother first.
Oh, I'm very fully aware, Mariella, but I wish to gauge your want of it first. I know your mother would ask of it at one point, but I wanted to know what you wanted.
I feel that there's much that could be learned if I do go. As you know, mostly with my family, we're generally unorthodox in most things, and so being exposed to
not.
other houses would probably be a boon.
I believe so. And you would have a friend there. Me. I'm the friend.
I would hope so.
My wife, of course. And we would help you. He kind of gestures. He goes, "How are you with children?"
Well, I helped with Garrick when Tisea was born, and then I helped with Tisea when Valena actually, I'm not quite sure if you
I have not had the pleasure to meet the newest member of the Weirlight family.
So I've been helping my mother with both of them. So I'm fairly familiar with children, and from what I have heard of the most recent independent mind of Highgarden is a very opinionated and individualistic child.
She is at that, but I believe soon they will be needing a new maiden, like a possible attendant to Lady Marjorie. Would you be interested in that?
I think that would probably suit all parties very well.
I think so as well. Like, let's talk about it. And he kind of like looks over his shoulder and then looks away, and we follow his gaze for a moment.
Yeah, I probably look where he looks.
As like, you don't see anything when you look in that direction. You're just like, okay. But we do see Clarissa kind of weaved into the crowd, staring daggers. And that's where we'll take our break. Hope you've enjoyed the welcoming feast so far. We're still kind of getting into the intrigue and plot and character introductions and the wishy and washy of it.
I escaped to Shella. That's A number 1.
You have.
At least for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Back for escape in a Shella.
Well, like...
Yes. Good escape.
Yep. So, we will see you guys in a few moments. Enjoy the break. Get some bathroom. Well, get some water. All that good stuff.
Well, they can get some bathroom too, but yeah.
They can get some bathroom.
They can get some bathroom. All right. We will be back. Woo.